Welcome back to House of MMA, where the real ones come to stay on top of everything happening inside the octagon. From Sean O'Malley's hot take on Topuria versus Oliveira, to Dricus Du Plessis sending a chilling message to Khamzat, and even Dana White catching heat over Power Slap. We've got all the latest MMA news you don't want to miss. Let's get right into it. Sean Strickland says he turned down a UFC fight because it was against someone he respects. Speaking with the media, Strickland revealed the UFC offered him a fight with Kyle, someone he considers a good man with a wife and kids. "I just couldn't do it," he said. "He's a cool dude, super genuine." For Strickland, it seems some bonds are more important than business. The middleweight champ, Dricus Du Plessis, will put his title on the line against Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319, and while many believe he's the underdog, the South African standout is confident in his ability to shock the world again. Chimaev has been dominant, staying undefeated and steamrolling most of his opponents. Still, DDP had a clear message for his rival. "You have no idea what I'm willing to do to be the greatest, but soon you'll find out. Not everyone is counting Du Plessis out." Sean Strickland, in a recent interview with Helen Yee, said if Dricus can counter-wrestle Chimaev, he wins hands down. Strickland even mentioned he's sparred with Chechens and believes Chimaev is beatable. Meanwhile, footage of Khamzat grappling with Olympic gold medalist Abdulrashid Sadulayev has been making the rounds. The guy can wrestle, no doubt, but do you think Du Plessis can hand him his first loss? MMA fans are roasting Dana White after discovering that Power Slap athletes were quietly added to the UFC's online roster. Many fans have long opposed Power Slap, calling it a gimmick rather than a sport, and now they're venting again. Some called it a slap in the face to MMA, while others say the UFC is turning into a money printer instead of a fight league. However, others suggested this could be a logistical move, keeping all combat sports athletes under one system might be more efficient. Still, it's clear fans aren't happy. The MMA world could be in for a wild ride as Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira gear up for a possible showdown that has fireworks written all over it. Recently, UFC bantamweight champ Sean O'Malley shared his thoughts on who he thinks would come out on top in that matchup. Now that Islam Makhachev has officially made the move up to welterweight, the UFC has announced that Topuria and Oliveira will clash for the vacant lightweight title in the main event of UFC 317 on June 28th. Although many fans were hoping to see Topuria test himself against Makhachev, a bout between El Matador and Du Bronx is still must-see TV. On a recent episode of the Full Send podcast, O'Malley admitted he wanted to see the Topuria versus Makhachev fight, calling them two of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world, even comparing them to John Jones. As for his prediction, Sean put it this way: "My heart says Charles, but my brain says Ilia." He added that it's impossible to count either man out, especially with Topuria coming off back-to-back stunning knockouts of Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski. What do you think? Can Topuria add a UFC title to his resume? The UFC 317 poster recently dropped, and Oliveira simply captioned it, "Gold." Time will tell if he reclaims it or if the undefeated Topuria starts his own reign. Even John Jones has chimed in on Topuria's rise, telling Vic Blends that winning the belt is hard, but staying champion is even harder. Jones reflected on the distractions that come with fame and fortune, saying few can handle it. Still, he praised Topuria's support system and called him a savage, much like Islam Makhachev. Jones added, "We'll see, time always tells." Unfortunately, UFC Vegas 107 has lost a fight. Trevin Giles had to pull out after fainting during his weight cut and hitting his head. His opponent Andreas Gustafsson confirmed the news and expressed frustration this marks his third canceled bout since signing with the UFC. Here's hoping they find him a new opponent soon and that Giles recovers quickly. Elsewhere in the welterweight division, veteran Stephen Wonderboy Thompson will return against Gabriel Bonfim on July 12th in Nashville. Wonderboy is 42 and looking to rebound after back-to-back losses, while Bonfim, just 27, has only one loss in 18 fights. Featherweights Jose Delgado and Haider Emil are set to collide at UFC 317. Delgado's riding a 6-fight win streak, while Emil remains undefeated at 11-0. At UFC 318 on July 19th, longtime vet Michael Johnson will face Daniel Zellhuber. Johnson's coming off a KO win and has gone 3-2 in his last 5, while Zellhuber is looking to bounce back after a close loss. After a tough loss to Paddy Pimblett at UFC 314, Michael Chandler has started to speak out. His teammate Jared Gordon recently said he wasn't surprised by the result, pointing to Chandler's training choices as a red flag. Chandler, in a chat with MMA Junkie, took full responsibility, saying he may have returned too soon after knee surgery. "That was my decision alone," he said, adding that while the camp wasn't perfect, he felt ready to go. "I took an L. No big deal. That's the fight game. What's your take? Honest reflection or excuses?" If Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev run it back for the light heavyweight belt, Israel Adesanya is backing his former rival. Pereira lost a close decision in March, but having already defended the belt 3 times, many believe a rematch is on the way. Adesanya recently said he's proud of Pereira's rise and believes he has what it takes to reclaim the title. "It wasn't a complete blowout," he said, adding that Pereira's takedown defense has improved dramatically. Kayla Harrison is prepping for her UFC 316 co-main event clash with Juliana Pena, but there's drama brewing. Pena has accused the Olympic gold medalist of using steroids, despite Harrison never testing positive. Harrison's coach Mike Brown came to her defense, saying she's simply built differently, a freak among freaks. Harrison echoed that, saying, "I'm just a freak." Is Pena playing mind games, or does she truly believe Harrison's success isn't natural? Michael Chandler stirred up the MMA world on Thursday with a cryptic message on Threads, just one word: Conor. Not long after, he posted again, this time hinting at a possible fight date, January 24th, 2026. The timing of these posts raised eyebrows, especially since UFC president Dana White recently said McGregor's return wouldn't be happening anytime soon. Naturally, fans started speculating, could this be the date for the long-awaited Chandler vs. McGregor showdown? Later that same day, Chandler sat down with MMA Junkie's Mike Bone for his first interview since losing to Paddy Pimblett in April. When asked about the cryptic posts, Chandler clarified that he wasn't confirming anything, he was just manifesting the fight. According to Chandler, January 24th isn't just a random date, it's actually his wedding anniversary, and this time it falls on a Saturday, which lines up perfectly with a typical UFC fight night. So he figured, why not float the date and see what happens? "I was sitting with a friend, and we both have the same anniversary. I looked it up, saw it was a Saturday, and thought, hey, maybe the UFC will run a card that day, so I put it out there, speaking it into existence." He also hinted that the UFC could be launching a new broadcast deal around that time, making early 2026 an ideal window for a blockbuster return. As for what's next, Chandler says he plans to take the summer off to rest and recover, but he's already told UFC exec Hunter Campbell that he'd be open to a fall comeback. Still, his top priority remains settling the score with Conor McGregor, and if the fight doesn't happen, Chandler says he won't lose sleep over it, but you can tell he's still hoping for that long-awaited showdown. And that wraps up another action-packed update from the world of MMA. What do you think? Will Topuria walk away with gold? Can Dricus shock the world again? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a beat from House of MMA. Until next time, stay sharp and stay savage.